Yes, good morning, everyone. Good day. How are you doing? You are now at the Netherlands. Together, Kim Smits and me, Eric Boon, are presenting the Netherlands, the land of Van Gogh, Rembrandt, ASML, high technology, and also water management. And of course, famous companies all over the place in the Netherlands. And let me show you something about the Netherlands in the next movie.
I find Holland a very beautiful place.
It's very dynamic and it's very open-minded. I always think of Holland as being one step ahead.
I think the Netherlands is a place where you can grow professionally.
I want to do a specialty here in the nursing field.
People are not judging you by ranks, but by your performance.
It has an international airport that you can fly wherever you want very easily.
I can tell you that the work-life balance is perfect.
People should come to Holland to discover more opportunities, to beat challenges, to discover themselves as well.
So you saw the movie, things about the Netherlands and how nice it is. Let me inform you something more about the Netherlands and let me show you something you didn't know, or maybe you did. We are a small country at the North Sea, and we are a country with a king, and also we have a lot of water. We are 6 meters below sea level, and that makes us very special. We have a lot of knowledge about water management and so on. It's a crowded country. We have 18 million people, and the most of them are living in the west part of the Netherlands, and that's quite crowded because there are a lot of people living over there. But there are also the main jobs over there. We have a king, King Willem, and he has a wife, and she's from Argentina, and maybe you know her. She's on television now. It's Maxima. Please watch the movie and maybe you enjoy. So that's the Netherlands. And let's go further. When you want to work in the Netherlands, you meet the Dutch man or the Dutch woman, and we have a typical culture. We are quite direct. We are open, and it seems to be that we always know better. But that isn't the point. It's the way we act. It's the way we want to inform the other one what we want to do and what we want to discuss. And also because we are a busy population, we have a tight schedule by planning things and by doing things. And if you look at the picture here I'm showing you, it's the picture of King's Day. The king has his birthday and everybody is free in the country and we make a big party. Everybody is dressed in orange and we gonna have some drinks. We meet the neighbors and we have a nice party. So that's the Netherlands. And maybe you saw it on the Olympics or football games. That's the way we like to show us abroad. Let me tell you something more about the cost of living. I got some information about renting a house. It's quite expensive if you want to rent a house in the commercial sector. You see some amounts over here, but there are also cheaper ones. And if we look at the way of living, eating and drinking, then it can be up to a lunch for 20 euro and all the other things. If you want to have more information, look it up at this website. You can find more. So that's the way of living in the Netherlands. And let me tell you something about the business culture. We are open and flexible, so that's what I already thought. We have less regards of authority. Our boss or our director is equal to us more or less, and we call each other with the first name. But also another thing that's very important, be on time. Don't be 10 minutes late and never make a promise you can't keep. So that's the way of working and living in the Netherlands. And the other thing I want to inform you about is um, the working conditions. So, what can you expect? We have schedules of 8 hours per day, or sometimes less or more, and 40 maximum a week. We have a lot of conditions written down in the law so everybody can find things what they can do or don't. And there's equal treatment also in doing and in paying. So if you have discussions about this, you always can find it back or ask the Department of HR who can inform you about this, or you ask a EURES colleague who can inform you about this. Yes, so I'm at the end of my story. Why working at the Netherlands? Let me make a wrap up for you. It's good working in the Netherlands, plenty of jobs, good possibilities to do your own business, to be your own entrepreneur, good education and health service. And of course, it's very easy to travel in the Netherlands. So that's the end of my story. And I'm going to introduce you to my colleague Kim, and she will inform you about the labor market. So, Kim, take them away.
Thank you very much, Eric. My name is Kim Smits. I'm a EURES advisor at the Netherlands, and my main responsibility is to talk to the Dutch employers to tell them about the European job seekers, but also ask them questions. What can you offer our job seekers from Europe? So now I want to tell you a little bit more about the jobs by sector, because as you can see, we have possibilities in many sectors. We have a challenging IT project. We have a hospitality project. It's called the Dutch Islands, because maybe you don't know it, but we have islands in the Netherlands. But there's also a healthcare project. We are working for veterinarians. We are looking for bus drivers. And then I'm only talking about the big projects, but also the little companies in the Netherlands. They are reaching out to EURES advisors because they are looking for staff from Europe. So there are possibilities enough, and you can also always reach out to the Dutch EURES advisors for more information. At this slide, I have some famous Dutch companies for you. Maybe you recognize some of them, like Heineken or Zico or Booking.com. These are really multinationals. There are a lot of opportunities in the Netherlands, also for people who are already skilled, but also for people who start on the labor market. But don't worry, we do not only have jobs at multinationals, but also with small family companies in small areas, in little villages in the Netherlands. So almost everything is possible. Then I want to take you to the next slide, because this is very important information. We talk a lot with people from Europe, and sometimes we hear some doubts about the Dutch labor market because we have a lot of temporary agencies, and people do not really know what's going on then, and is it very reliable. So I want to tell you a bit more about that, because we are very eager at fair mobility. It's very important also for us, for the Dutch EURES advisor, but also for the Dutch government. So there are a lot of temporary agencies. It's very widespread in the Netherlands. I looked it up last night, and at this moment, at 2023, there were 2.7 million contracts only for the temporary agencies. So it's frequently used by companies. And maybe it's good to know it's often a first step to a permanent job, but it's also possible to have a temporary job, of course. And as we find fair mobility very important, we are very much in contact with the quality mark for these agencies. That's ABU and MBBU. And when you have more questions about this, or even more doubts, you can always reach out to the Dutch EURES advisors. Then I want to tell you at this slide a bit more about the CV in the Netherlands, because I can understand in each country there's maybe it's a bit different. The labor market is different also, but also the way of recruiting and the way of react on vacancies. And in the Netherlands, it's very important to start with your recent experience, and always a photo. We like photos in the Netherlands, and think about to adjust to the vacancy. Maybe it's good to start with a little intro about the vacancy where you are interested in. And then you have to know that a CV cannot be longer than 2 pages, because maybe then the recruiter loses their interest when they are reading it. So maybe it's good to know when you are going to respond on a vacancy in the Netherlands. Next slide is very important also. I want to tell you a bit more about wages and taxes. I don't know if it's good news, but you have to pay income tax and social contributions. We have a minimum wage, and everything you want to know about that you can find in our collective labor agreement. So it's important to look it up when you are going to get a job in the Netherlands. This slide is important for you too. Some companies, employers are arranging housing for you. Then you know that by start, but sometimes you are responsible for looking for housing yourself. So I put this slide in the presentation so you can look it up. You can see what's now for rent, what's now for sale in the Netherlands, and what the prices are. So I hope you can find it when you look it up after this presentation. When you find that special job in the Netherlands and you are coming to the Netherlands, you have a contract, then there are some things who are very important before you leave. Always check the contract. Check your local EURES advisor to talk about this. You can also reach out to the Dutch EURES advisors, but it's very important you know what you are signed up to. Then, of course, you need a Euro bank account. You can open it in your own country. That way they can pay your salary. And you need a valid identity document. Of course, maybe it's for many people it's not something new, but I want to mention it in this presentation. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit more when you come in the Netherlands, because that's important. It's an obligation to have a health insurance in the Netherlands. Many times your employer will help you with that. Maybe they made some arrangements with the health insurance, but make sure you have some. And it's also important to have a civil service number. There are 2 ways to get it. So I put it in this slide so you can look it up, and you can see at the internet site how it works. But no worries, your employer will help you with this, because it's very important, and the employer knows that too. So thank you very much for listening to us. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Eric told you a bit more about the Netherlands, how it is to live. I told you a bit more about work. And when you are interested, please send us an email. I write it down here, work in the Netherlands too, at uwv.nl, because when we receive your CV or your question, we can help you, and we will reach out to you. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.